Welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the most popular and valuable coin series in the US, the Washington Quarters. These coins, especially the rare ones, have been catching the attention of collectors and investors alike. If you've got some Washington Quarters lying around, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. So, let's explore the most expensive and rare Washington Quarters that are making waves in the market today. First up, the Washington Quarter Dollar from 1983 with a P Mint mark, and why this coin, in very good condition, can have a surprising value in today's market. So first things first, let's take a look at this coin. The 1983 Washington Quarter is part of the series that features George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The 1983 coin, like many of the quarters from the early 80s, is made of cupronickel. But even though it might seem like just another standard issue, there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. The obverse of this coin showcases the profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. It's a classic design that's been on US quarters since 1932. On the reverse, we have the iconic eagle, symbolizing freedom and strength. Both sides are in high detail, even on coins in very good condition. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin in very good condition is considered to be a bit worn, but still retains its important details. You'll notice some wear on the high points, like Washington's hair and the eagle's wings, but the overall design is still easily identifiable. In the world of coin grading, very good is a step up from coins that have heavy wear or have been significantly damaged, but it's not quite as high as fine or extra fine. Even so, a very good condition Washington Quarter from 1983 with a P Mint mark can still carry a lot of value. The Mint mark is crucial when determining a coin's value. The P Mint mark on the 1983 Washington Quarter indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia. While this mint mark is fairly common for many coins from the 1980s, the combination of the coin's age, historical significance, and condition makes it a standout piece for collectors. So why is this particular quarter so valuable today? The truth is, the 1983 Washington Quarter with the P Mint mark is rare in very good condition. While millions of these coins were produced, many of them have been lost, damaged, or worn out over the years. The 1983 Washington Quarter is not as commonly found in higher grades as other years from the 1980s. Now, let's talk about the numbers. As of today, a 1983 Washington Quarter in very good condition can be worth anywhere from $295,000, depending on the exact wear and any unique characteristics the coin may have. But hold on. Rare coins in this condition, especially ones with low mintage or other collectible factors, can go for even more at auction, sometimes reaching upwards of $600,000 or more. In recent years, we've seen auctions where 1983 Washington Quarters with a P Mint mark have exceeded the usual price ranges, sometimes fetching higher bids due to factors like scarcity in certain regions or the current demand for silver and copper nickel coins. So if you happen to have one in your collection, it could be worth holding on to. If you're thinking about collecting Washington Quarters, or if you already have some in your collection, it's always a good idea to check their condition and get them properly graded. Coins in better condition, like fine or extra fine, can have significantly higher value. And of course, always look for unique minting errors or rare characteristics that might increase a coin's desirability. In summary, the 1983 Washington Quarter with a P Mint mark in very good condition is a coin with historical value that is starting to see a rise in market interest. If you find one in your pocket change or tucked away in a collection, don't just toss it aside. Next up, the Washington Quarter Dollar from 1965, specifically the one without a mint mark. You might be surprised to learn that this coin, though seemingly common, can fetch a pretty penny in today's market. Let's find out why this specific quarter is so special and valuable. 1965 was a year of transition in U.S. coinage, and the Washington Quarter, which has been a staple since 1932, went through some significant changes during this time. But here's the kicker. The 1965 Washington Quarter, without a mint mark, has become one of the most sought-after coins among collectors. Before we get into the details of this rare version, let's talk about the general 1965 Washington Quarter. This year marked a major change in U.S. coinage. The Mint stopped producing silver coins for circulation, and instead they introduced a new copper-nickel-clad composition. It was a direct response to the silver shortage that was caused by rising silver prices. This shift meant that the 1965 Washington Quarters, along with other denominations like the dime and half dollar, no longer contained silver. But despite the change in composition, the design remained the same, a depiction of George Washington designed by John Flanagan with the inscription Liberty and In God We Trust. Now, what makes the 1965 Washington Quarter without a mint mark so rare? Well, let's talk about the minting process. In 1965, there were 3 U.S. mint facilities producing coins: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint mark, which typically tells us which mint produced the coin, was used to differentiate the coins. But here's the twist. The 1965 quarters made in Philadelphia were released without a mint mark. Most people don't realize that the 1965 quarters from the Philadelphia Mint didn't have the typical PD or S mint marks. While quarters from other mints in Denver or San Francisco carried their respective mint marks, Philadelphia opted to omit it entirely. This decision created a unique subset of quarters that are now harder to find, and collectors have been eagerly searching for them. Because these quarters were produced in large quantities and didn't have any distinguishing mint marks, they're often mistaken for being common and are therefore overlooked. But over time, coin collectors started to realize that they were dealing with a unique era in minting. That's when the value of the 1965 Washington Quarter without a mint mark started to rise. Now the big question: how much is this quarter actually worth today? Let's break it down. In circulated condition, the 1965 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is worth more than face value. Typically, it can be valued anywhere from $330,000 depending on wear and demand at the time. However, if you come across a coin in excellent condition, even in circulated form, it can easily fetch anywhere from $500,000. For those of you who find a gem-quality coin in uncirculated condition or with minimal wear, the value increases significantly. An uncirculated 1965 Washington Quarter without a mint mark can be valued anywhere from $800,000 and sometimes even more if the coin has been graded highly by a professional service. One thing to keep in mind is that the price of these coins can fluctuate based on market demand and the condition of individual coins. The better the quality, the higher the price. But overall, this coin's value has steadily risen in recent years, making it a great addition to any collection. So why should you care about this coin? Well, for starters, the 1965 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is a reminder of a significant time in U.S. history when the mint was transitioning away from silver coinage. Plus, as more collectors catch on to its rarity, the market value is likely to keep increasing. If you find one in your pocket change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. If you're a beginner in coin collecting, this is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can turn out to be a hidden treasure. If you're an experienced collector, you probably already know how important it is to add these unique variations to your collection. Next up, the 1972 Washington Quarter dollar without a mint mark. Is this coin just another regular quarter, or does it hold hidden value that you might not expect? Stick around to find out, as we uncover the story of this coin's market value today and why it's worth paying attention to. The Washington Quarter dollar has a long and rich history, first issued in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. Over the years, this coin has gone through several design changes, but the 1972 Washington quarter remains one of the most significant and collectible in the modern era. Produced by the US Mint, this coin typically features an image of George Washington on the obverse and a bald eagle on the reverse. However, certain years, like 1972, stand out due to the variety of conditions, mint marks, and limited quantities, making them more valuable to collectors today. In 1972, the US Mint issued both proof and circulation coins, with no significant variations in design. The 1972 Washington quarter without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't add a mint mark to its circulation coins during that year. While quarters were also produced at the Denver and San Francisco mints, the lack of a mint mark on the Philadelphia coin made this particular version stand out. Although millions of quarters were produced in 1972, the condition and rarity of certain coins make all the difference in their market value today. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. The 1972 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, in extra fine condition, is considered to be in excellent shape for its age. Extra fine condition means the coin has only minimal wear, with most of the design still clearly visible. The eagle's feathers, Washington's hairline, and even the stars around the coin are well defined. This level of preservation is important when it comes to value. Coins in higher grade conditions, like extra fine or better, often fetch much more on the market, and the 1972 Washington quarter stands as a prime example of how a little wear can significantly affect a coin's worth. You might be wondering, just how much is this coin worth today? Well, the market value of a 1972 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition can vary, but here's the exciting part. This coin is considered rare in higher grades. For a coin like this, collectors are willing to pay a premium for one that's in extra fine condition. Based on recent auction results and sales, you can expect to see prices for this coin ranging anywhere from $498,000, depending on the exact condition and the buyer's demand. If it's in near mint or uncirculated condition, it could fetch even higher prices, reaching up to $750,000 or more. So how do you identify a 1972 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition? It's all about the details. Start by looking at the obverse, the portrait of George Washington. In extra fine condition, his profile should be sharp, with little to no noticeable wear on his cheek, hair, or the folds of his clothing. Next, focus on the reverse. The eagle's wings, tail feathers, and the letters in United States of America should remain clear and well defined. If there's any wear, it should be light, and the coin should have a nice, even luster that indicates it's been cared for. The 1972 Washington quarter without a mint mark holds value for several reasons. First, the absence of a mint mark itself adds a layer of uniqueness to the coin. Second, while the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters in 1972, many of these coins have been circulated and are in lower condition today. Coins that survive in extra fine or better condition are considered a rarity, and that rarity is what drives up their value. Collectors also love the story behind this coin, a standard production piece that has stood the test of time and still holds appeal decades after it was minted. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1972 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition, you'll want to visit reputable coin dealers, coin shows, or online marketplaces. Before making a purchase, always verify the coin's condition using the standard grading scales like the Sheldon scale. And if you're selling, make sure you get it appraised properly to understand its true market value. There you have it, folks. The 1972 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition is a rare find, and its value in today's market proves that even common coins can become valuable treasures with the right condition and demand. So, the next time you come across one of these quarters, take a closer look. you might just have a hidden gem on your hands. Next up, have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if a simple quarter could be worth big bucks? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1985 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark, a rare coin that's catching the attention of collectors everywhere. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, originally introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1985, these quarters were produced in vast numbers at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P Mint mark on the coin's obverse, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. But what makes the 1985 P Mint quarter so special? While millions of these quarters were minted, not all were created equal. Collectors are always on the hunt for coins in very good condition, or better, with sharp details, minimal wear, and no major blemishes. The 1985 P quarter, even in very good condition, is rare due to the natural wear and tear most quarters faced in circulation. Additionally, certain minting anomalies like weak strikes or die errors can make these coins even more valuable. So, how much is a 1985 P quarter worth in today's market? In very good condition, these coins generally trade for around $120,000. However, higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated can fetch anywhere from $300,000 or more, depending on demand. To determine your quarter's value, start by carefully inspecting it. Look for strong details on Washington's profile and the eagle on the reverse. Use a magnifier to spot any potential errors, and remember, condition is everything. Store your coins in a protective case to prevent further wear and tear. Next up, the Washington quarter dollar from 1986 with a P Mint mark. But hold on, this isn't just any regular quarter. We're talking about its rarity and the market value it holds today. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. Let's start with the basics. The 1986 Washington quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing series of quarters featuring George Washington, which has been in circulation since 1932. The design on the obverse features George Washington, our first president, and the reverse shows an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, a symbol of strength and unity. Now, this specific coin was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P Mint mark, which can be found on the reverse side beneath the eagle. But here's the thing. The 1986 quarter wasn't necessarily struck as a commemorative coin or a special issue. It was just another regular coin produced for circulation. Or so we thought. Typically, quarters from the 1980s are pretty common, and they can still be found in change today. However, coins from this period that are in circulation and condition, meaning they've been in people's pockets, spent, and passed around, are starting to show signs of wear and age. So, why does a coin that was simply used in daily transactions hold any real value? Well, there are a few factors at play here. First, coins like the 1986 Washington quarter, while produced in large numbers, are often overlooked because they were so common at the time. What makes the 1986 with the P Mint mark rare is its limited availability in pristine condition. Most of these coins have been worn down through years of circulation, but the ones that have survived in better than average condition are now becoming a sought-after treasure for collectors. Now, let's talk numbers. The value of a 1986 Washington quarter is relatively low when it's in average circulation condition, probably around face value $50,000. But here's where things get interesting. As of today, quarters in better condition, especially those with minimal wear or in uncirculated grades, can fetch between $90,000. And it gets even better if you find one in near-perfect condition. If you're lucky enough to come across one with a clean, sharp strike and almost no wear, it could potentially be worth up to $280,000 or even more, depending on market demand and the coin's grade. So what makes this coin important to collectors? The 1986 Washington quarter isn't rare in terms of mintage. but it's an excellent example of how even seemingly ordinary coins can become valuable over time. Coins from the 1980s, especially those with the P mint mark, are often undervalued but have the potential to increase in worth as they disappear from circulation. As collectors focus on filling gaps in their albums, coins like these become more difficult to find in excellent condition, and that drives up their value. If you're hoping to add this coin to your collection, here's what you should look for. First, check the mint mark on the reverse side, under the eagle. If it's a P, you're looking at a Philadelphia minted coin. Next, examine the condition. Coins in circulation will likely show signs of wear, so it's important to inspect the details closely. A coin with a higher grade, like AU or MS, will hold much more value. If you're not sure how to grade your coin, there are many resources and guides available to help you determine its condition. To wrap up, while the 1986 Washington Quarter with the P mint mark may not seem like an extraordinary coin at first glance, its value is on the rise, especially in uncirculated or high-grade condition. Whether you're an experienced coin collector or a beginner, this coin offers a unique opportunity to own a piece of history that's growing in popularity and value. Next up, the Washington Quarter from 1987 with a P mint mark. This particular coin may not look like much at first glance, but with its very fine condition and rarity, it holds a surprising value in today's market. So, stick around as we uncover the story behind this coin, why it's considered rare, and just how much it could be worth. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Featuring the iconic image of Washington on the obverse, this coin has become one of America's most recognized and beloved designs. But today, we're focusing on a specific year, 1987. Released as part of the series that ran from 1932 through the present, the 1987 Washington Quarter is a part of the modern era of U.S. coinage. It features Washington's portrait on the front with the words "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of minting, 1987. On the reverse, we have an eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom, along with the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. What makes this coin particularly interesting is its mint mark. The 1987 Washington Quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P mint mark. It's one of the only years in which the P mint mark was used for quarters, which makes this coin unique. Philadelphia is known for producing the majority of U.S. coins, but a P mint mark on a quarter was rare before 1987 and not used again for some time. Now, when it comes to coin value, condition is everything. This particular Washington Quarter, the 1987 with P mint mark, is in very fine condition. But what does very fine mean in numismatic terms? Very fine coins show light wear, but all the major features, like Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse, are still clearly visible. There's no significant damage or heavy scratching, which is essential when determining the value of any rare coin. While the 1987 Washington Quarter isn't a low mintage coin, its rarity lies in its condition. Many of these coins were circulated heavily, leading to wear and tear, which means that finding one in very fine condition is relatively rare. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity and demand are what drive up prices. So, just how much is a 1987 Washington Quarter worth in very fine condition today? The market value of these coins typically ranges from around $500,000, depending on the exact condition and demand from collectors. Several factors influence the value of any coin, and the 1987 Washington Quarter is no exception. First, the condition of the coin is critical. A coin in near mint or uncirculated condition will always be worth more than one with significant wear. Second, demand plays a big role. Coin collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for specific years and mint marks, and the P mint mark from 1987 adds a layer of intrigue for collectors. If you're looking to get your hands on one of these coins, they can be found at local coin shops, through online auction platforms like eBay, or at coin shows. Make sure you're buying from a reputable seller and always examine the coin closely to ensure it's in the condition you're paying for. So, there you have it, the 1987 Washington Quarter with the P Mint mark. It may not be the rarest coin in existence, but in very fine condition, it holds its own in terms of value and collector interest. Next up, the 1984 Washington Quarter Dollar with a D Mint mark. You might be thinking, a quarter from the 1980s, what's so special about that? But when you take a closer look at this particular coin, you'll see that it's a rare gem with increasing value in the market. So, if you're a collector or just curious about this intriguing piece of numismatic history, stay tuned as we explore why the 1984 Washington Quarter with the D Mint mark is commanding attention and big dollars today. First, let's take a moment to remind ourselves of the Washington Quarter's rich history. Introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, the coin has undergone a few design changes over the years, but it's remained a central part of U.S. currency ever since. By the 1980s, the design featured the familiar portrait of Washington on the obverse, with an eagle in flight on the reverse. It's a familiar design to most collectors, but today we're focusing on a specific year, 1984. The 1984 Washington Quarter is produced with either a P Philadelphia or D Ver Mint mark, but for the sake of today's topic, we're zeroing in on the D Mint mark. The Denver Mint has a long history of striking high-quality coins, and the 1984 quarters are no exception. Most of these coins were produced in massive quantities, which typically lowers their value. However, the condition and scarcity of certain 1984 quarters have led them to become much more sought after today. Now let's talk about the coin's condition. When we refer to a coin being in very fine condition, we're talking about a coin that shows moderate wear but still retains most of its original details. A Washington Quarter from 1984 in very fine condition will exhibit clear features with just enough wear to remove some of the finer details but still maintain a lot of its sharpness. These coins are highly collectible as they've aged well without significant damage or heavy circulation. In very fine condition, the 1984 D Mint marked quarter still displays the fine details of George Washington's face and the iconic eagle on the reverse, with the lettering remaining clear. However, the wear is more apparent, with slight smoothing on high points like Washington's cheek and the eagle's wings. Despite the large mintage of 1984 quarters, those in very fine condition with the D Mint mark have become rare due to the passage of time and the number of coins that have been lost, damaged, or heavily circulated. Most of these quarters were used in everyday transactions, leading to fewer surviving examples in high-grade conditions. As a result, the coin has become harder to find in very fine condition, making it more desirable to collectors. Additionally, the demand for coins like the 1984 Washington Quarter has been steadily rising in recent years. Many collectors are drawn to coins that are just old enough to be considered vintage, but not so old that they're beyond their reach financially. The 1984 De Mint mark quarter falls into this category as it's a coin from the early 80s, but still maintains strong historical and numismatic value. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the value of the 1984 Washington Quarter with the D Mint mark in very fine condition. Typically, a coin in this condition is worth anywhere from $430,000. However, the value can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and how many collectors are seeking out specific dates and mint marks. For those coins in near mint or uncirculated condition, the value can rise significantly, sometimes reaching upwards of $600,000 or more. Keep in mind that certain market conditions and the specific demands of collectors at any given time can lead to spikes in value. If you happen to come across a 1984 D Washington quarter in very fine condition, it could be a great addition to your collection, especially as it might increase in value over time. Coins like these are perfect for those looking to invest in long-term numismatic assets that are more affordable today than some of the rarer, older coins on the market. Why should collectors pay attention to this coin in particular? Well, it's a great example of a coin that's relatively young, yet has developed a following due to its scarcity in higher-grade conditions. The 1984 D quarter represents a transitional period in U.S. coinage, bridging the gap between the earlier silver quarters and modern-day clad coins. As collectors look for coins that are still affordable but have the potential for growth in value, the 1984 D Washington quarter, in very fine condition, becomes an increasingly appealing option. If you're looking to add a 1984 D Washington quarter to your collection, it's important to know what to look for. Inspect the coin closely for any signs of wear, particularly around the high points, like Washington's head, cheek, and shoulder. A very fine coin will have some wear on these areas, but will still retain most of the major features clearly visible. Also, check the mint mark on the reverse, located just to the right of the eagle, to confirm that it's from the Denver Mint. The 1984 Washington quarter with a D Mint mark in very fine condition is a rare and valuable coin that many collectors should keep an eye on. While not as old as some of the more famous coins in U.S. history, it has a special place in the market today due to its relative scarcity and increasing demand. Next up, the 1989 Washington quarter with a D Mint mark, specifically in circulated condition. This coin, which was minted in 1989, features the iconic Washington design, a testament to George Washington, the first President of the United States. The reverse shows a detailed eagle with its wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows. It's a design that has stood the test of time, but how much is this particular quarter worth today? And why is it considered a rare coin with big value? The 1989 Washington quarter was produced at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D Mint mark, which is featured on this coin, indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest coin-producing mints in the country. While most coins from 1989 are still relatively easy to find, this quarter's real value is in its rarity when it's in circulated condition, especially when looking at factors such as overall wear, strike quality, and the coin's specific mint mark. Now, you may be wondering, how does a coin in circulated condition achieve a significant value? In the world of coin collecting, rarity and condition are the 2 most important factors that determine a coin's worth. Circulated coins, like the 1989 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark, typically show signs of wear, which makes finding one in good shape even more special. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with mint state being a perfect coin and poor being a coin that's been heavily worn or damaged. For a 1989 Washington quarter, the value fluctuates depending on the condition, but even a well-worn quarter can fetch a decent price, especially in the right market. So what does this mean for the 1989 Washington quarter with a D Mint mark? In circulated condition, this coin can often be found selling for around $600,000. However, depending on the rarity, condition, and current market demand, the value can sometimes go even higher. For example, if the coin is in higher circulated grades, such as extra fine or about uncirculated, it could reach values between $700,000. While this coin may not be considered ultra-rare compared to some other Washington quarters or older silver coins, it's still a significant piece in the world of modern coin collecting. With the right collector, this coin can stand out in a collection. And if you're in the market, don't be surprised if prices continue to rise as more collectors seek out quality examples of Washington quarters. Coin shows and auctions have been a great place for collectors to find rare and valuable coins. So, if you're looking to add a 1989 Washington quarter to your collection, keep an eye on the marketplace. Whether you find it at a local shop, online auction, or at a coin show, there's always potential to make a great investment. And for those of you wondering how to spot the right Washington quarter in circulation, make sure to check the mint mark. This small letter, which is located just below the eagle on the reverse, can make all the difference between a common coin and a rare one. Now, a quick note on cleaning coins. It's always best to leave coins in their natural state. Cleaning them can often reduce their value, so avoid scrubbing or polishing them if you find a rare specimen. A coin that's in its natural, unaltered state is far more valuable to collectors. In conclusion, while the 1989 Washington quarter with the D mint mark may not be one of the highest value coins in history, it still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, and its value can certainly surprise you, especially in circulated condition. With values ranging from $800,000 depending on the condition and market demand, this quarter is definitely worth keeping an eye on. So, if you have a 1989 Washington quarter in your collection, or happen to find one in your pocket change, take a moment to appreciate its historical significance, and maybe even its potential value. Who knows? It might just be worth more than you think. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more coin tips, history, and valuable insights. Happy collecting, and I'll see you next time.